Hello, hello, welcome back. It hasn't been very long, but we're back here, VRML preseason, week 2, back for our main event of the evening, I suppose, because it is our last match. So it's going to be, this time, Illuminaughty, undefeated, versus Orbit, undefeated. That'll be an interesting matchup, about to happen right quick. But until then, introductions real quick. On the cameras, it is Wit still yet, and I'm Palidore still. But over on the booth next to me, we got a little sub going on here. And actually, it's our newest, or one of our newest members of the casting crew, Kungg. What's up, man?
Hello, how's it going, everybody?
It's a going.
We're gonna have a good match here today. Really interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, two very strong teams. One, we felt like we could expect it, over on Illuminaughty, it's Ender, Speedy V, QL Young, Suburban Legend. Talking between Speedy and QL, obviously, coming through, and they've been teammates. And the Squid Boys looks like we're gonna get ready too ready. But of course, Orbit was the one that was like the X factor to me, where they're experienced players, obviously, but just haven't seen them together as a team before, and they came in and impressed quite a bit in their week 1 games.
They have their strategy. They always have a man back, so they don't like clears get by easily.
Not at all. That was one of the biggest factors in Orbit's wins last week, was just the fact that they were leaving. It was Gamerboy most often in that back line. He was intercepting everything, and played a big factor. And over in the chat as well, hello to everyone there.
Gamer Boy
T
doing
Balls asking if we can explain the game. Sure. Think sports in space, basically. Basketball, hockey, what have you. Ender's Game, whatever it is. It's going to be Sneaky Evil there on the recovery, finding Gamer Boy. Gamer is going to find that narrow window of opportunity where a stack is going to go on the attack. They're grabbing it. Zenith, and with quickness, the 2 points on the board for Orbit.
Good boost there by Illuminaughty. They just couldn't get the hold of the disc there.
That was really quick on the approach. Both teams had some boosts going through, but coming through with it, it was Orbit for the first 2 points. Rather quick fashion. So on the rollout now, it's going to be Illuminaughty. QBing for them is Speedy, finding Ender over there on the other side, and now Suburban Legend up top, who informed me I best call him Burbs from here on out. Much easier, and I agree. So Burbs dishing it to Ender. Now nice cross to QL, going back and into the goal for 2.
That was good all-around passing from the team there. Took it in. No interceptions, just clean all around.
It's exactly what you would expect from all these players in these teams. The chemistry, the passing game, high-level gameplay. It's one of the most important things is just that execution, that definitiveness. And there, we can see the orbital drop, if I'm not mistaken, is what they like to call that rollout, uniquely going directly below the nest. It's one of their favorite rollouts, and they executed it quite successfully throughout week 1, and now taking a midline shot down the half court, but it's not going to reach the mark. Now it's going to be taken back there and into the hands of Scoop. Scoop, someone you're familiar with, aren't you, Kungg?
Yeah, Scoop is on our team for season 2. He's a good player. He definitely is. He's a goalie, but he also, I think, this season he's taking it up more of a striker position.
Let's talk about striking. Yeah, that was a great pass by Scoop. Right on cue. Showing he's not just a goalie, he can dish it too. And Sneaky Evil is going to be the one to take advantage of that nice pass. Softly on over. So, joust advantage back to Illuminaughty's hands, and Orbit with the 2 quick goals in these first couple minutes. Speedy is going to find QL. Q is going to find Ender now. Quick rollout on this one. Might buy them a 2-on-2 at goal. Actually, 1-on-2, and an Ender is just going to send it through.
Great shot placement there. All the way in the ceiling. Goalie can't reach that high.
Not unless you're a guy. You know the one. I'm not going to say the second half of his name, because we're keeping it classy in chat. Hello, Guy. How's it going? Love you, buddy. But yeah, unless you have those extendo arms, naturally, Those ones are going to be hard to get. And now it's going to be Scoop finding that pass. He's going to back it out just a little bit, wait for the cross, but still cut off there. Maybe a little bit mistimed, so they're able to get the clear.
Illuminaughty getting a fast boost there. But can they get the shot now?
Yeah, was briefly wide open, and now taken there by Speedy. It looked like quickly off of that. Maybe a shot attempt more so than a pass, but you know what? The insurance from Speedy V.
Yeah, if they could have probably got a 3 off there if they moved a bit faster, but they made a smart choice and they got the good 2-pointer there.
And we know Speedy V, a quintessential teammate, no matter where he is, whether it's teaming up with the aforementioned guy and Simeon or over on Squid, doesn't matter. Fair enough as well. Metamercs. Speedy is always a great teammate. He knows how to facilitate and how to orchestrate the offense, the stacks, all those things. And now Scoop is going to get it to Zenith. A fake! Whoa. And it will buy them the goal. Wow. Oh, man, trying to get the headbutt save. Suburban. Oof. That was, he almost got it too, actually.
Yeah, Zenith got all his momentum stopped, and he was just stuck there, but he shot it and somehow it got in. I think they got a stun on the keeper, which is great there.
Threw a shot fake that just kind of got the defender briefly shook, enough to at least buy the shot. Certainly you don't expect those kind of moves, but he gave it, and they got the goal as a result. And now going backboard, but a little bit too strong. It's going to float to that wedge area, the Pac-Man. And right back to the midline it goes.
You're close. Oh, they got the stun on Scoop there. I got all the time in the world.
Now some stacks coming through. It's going to float on softly, taking a bounce, and Speedy, absolutely the three-point bomb. Now going up by 3. So Speedy so far, 5 points, leading the way for Illuminaughty. Ender with 2 points and 2 assists. I was kind of wondering what Ender would pull out tonight, because his first 2 games in week 1, he had 30 points across 3 rounds, and one of them he had like 36 the next, I believe. Unfortunately for Ender, I'm not sure if he knows this, but I didn't go and do the math because there was a round 1 reset, but in the earlier game, Slin, over on Smash Dash, I believe, he scored something like 40 points across 3 rounds, so I believe Slin is actually the current record holder in terms of scoring output across 3. But nonetheless, yeah. Ender's been pretty hot himself lately, and kind of curious to see how that unfolds.
Yeah, he's good at taking the one-on-ones and even 2-on-1s.
Some nice defense there on the dives, but still will find the hands of Orbit, and Orbit's gonna go in, dings it, but rebound. Whoa, the anchor stop, the anchored save. That was brave and right on point there for the clear now. That was one heck of a grab, especially off the anchor. How do you even time that except by just hoping that it'll happen? What a grab. So back passing it out now to Gamer, who's going to be cut off. So right back to Scoop it goes. Scoop's going to cross it on over softly. Maybe too softly because it gave Speedy the time to get the punch. And now taking immediate boost off of QL Young. It was Ender and Speedy there. And it's going to buy them a goal opportunity, but Gamer Boy right back.
Saves on both ends of the court now. It's
anything you can do, right? That was great. So Gamer is going to find that crossover to Scoop. Scoop backing it out to his stack. Zenith going for the punch. And on the recovery, Sneaky Evil finding Gamer. Gamer crossing it on over to that shoulder. And now one more cross. Gonna miss both of his teammates, but still recovering there is Gamer. So into the hands now of Scoop. Just a few gentle pass fakes. Finally finding Zenith. Zenith is just going to take a shot. Ender is going to snag it. He's going to clear it. And now if you're over on Illuminaughty, you got to get it. The open 3.
Yeah, Illuminaughty's having really great defense right now. Getting those interceptions, saves, and good clears too. Very important. And then they're also capitalizing off that, getting the 3-pointers.
And Rhino in chat asking, wait, so how fast are the anchor shots? I'm not sure if there's more discussion going on there, but it's not just the speed of the anchor shots, but even just the jukiness of it. It's much harder to read, right? When your entire body is just being slung like that on an anchor. Much harder to read those grabs, at least I found.
Yeah.
Working it in. Ender just going for it. Goes for that
There you
angel move
go.
that he loves to do, shielding himself just in case, then recollecting the disc and gonna put that one home.
That's one of the moments I'm talking about where he just takes it 2-on-1, and he's great at finishing those.
And 4 points on the board for Ender now to go along with his 2 assists and 10 stuns. Tied in the stun department with Speedy at the moment, but their entire team kind of pulling ahead in that stun category for now on Illuminaughty. And Zenith is going to be in that pocket. He's going to have it stolen, though. Speedy sneaking through, looking for Ender, too. And Ender maybe another 2-on-1. Perhaps he has a little bit of space, and he's going to make the best possible use of it with a shot at the feet. Trying to, if nothing else, dish a shot of defeat. Orbit sway.
Yeah, the game was really close, but Illuminaughty just seems to be pulling away in this first round. Still a minute left, though, so they got possibly just enough time to catch up. It'll be hard.
They're going to have to put in some threes really quickly here. But like you said, just the first round. Plenty of time to recollect. Now, Orbit actually had a pretty strong start there against Illuminaughty, buying themselves some early goals. But since then, Illuminaughty, they kind of settled down a little bit, started getting back more so on the defense, winning more brawls especially. And then they pulled ahead by 10 just like that.
Yeah, we saw Illuminaughty slowing the time down there and just trying to hold possession. As they know, there's not much time left. They can just hold the disc and win it.
Well, you can see Ender there collected the disc and inverted, but gonna be taken right back. Actually, Suburban, Burbs, if you will, getting stunned. Zenith is gonna look for that deep one as this clock rolls down. They have about 13 seconds left to get one more shot. And oh, save last second Ender and the stack from Illuminaughty just getting right back. 5 more seconds, one more opportunity into the goal, off the backboard, and it will not go. Some good stuns there from QL on Scoop to deny the final attempt.
Yeah, final score 16-6 in Illuminaughty's favor. It was a good game at the start. Just Illuminaughty started getting some really good defensive plays, and they started pulling ahead.
And the high score there for Illuminaughty, 8 for Speedy V. Ender not far behind with 6. QL with 2. And Burbs, no points, but an assist and 2 saves, as well as a 10 stuns.
Now we can see a lot more saves on Illuminaughty's side. One thing that they're really good at.
A 5-1 advantage on the save department for Illuminaughty, you're right. And over for Orbit there, just after the initial first few minutes of that round, could not score anymore, it seemed, on Illuminaughty. The 2 points coming in there from Sneaky and Zenith. And there was one off the head of Suburban, so the missing point total there. Forgot who it was who shot that at this point.
Zenith, yeah.
All right, so Zenith with 4 points, sort of. But yeah, and the high 11 stuns for his team. A couple of assists for Gamerboy and Scoop. 1 apiece, I should say, and the save from Gamerboy. And with that said, all right, well, on to the second round it goes. Strong performance so far from Illuminaughty. See if Orbit can bounce back. They can absorb it. These hits coming in from Illuminaughty. Off the joust, really quickly, they're actually beating him to it. And it's going to be Orbit. Doing it again, trying to find that disc, but it's going to reach the hands there of Burbs. Down to Speedy and the reset. And Speedy up ahead. Misses the first man, but gets the QL. And Q's going to go for that bounce. That's something he is very good at as well. Now, it's not going to get in there that time, but still going to float into the hands of Gamerboy with a stack. Fastly approaching 3 men from Illuminaughty. And you can see right back. A soft pass. The defense trying to get back, and they do so successfully. So a wise reset from Orbit. And now it's Scoop also trying to back it out. Pressure there by the defense results in this fast tap pass, but good control. Zenith. Sneaky back to Zenith now. And there's that patience you were talking about earlier, how they like those resets. They're playing that backcourt game.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen too much of the midfield come to play yet for a Gamerboy, but now it's going to be a frontline play. One more pass, and at last, off of that plethora of passing up and down the floor and back again, it's Zenith off that assist from Scoop.
Yeah, they kept it real clean there. Took their time and just, that's all you got to do. If they can keep doing that, I think they'll pull away with this round 2 victory.
It is very possible, and that's the kind of calculated offense that they're going to need to work it past what would be a strong defensive line in Illuminaughty. So now it's going to be a pocket pass on over. Ender receiving that disc, trying to look up ahead to Q, who delivers it right back to Ender. Ender's going to be pressured hard, and the pass instead cut off by Zenith, who quickly slaps it through, but Speedy playing the passing lane. Gets it back to QL now. He's going to deliver it down low for the one-on-one attempt. Oh, but stunning him. So Gamer Boy got the save, but Ender recollecting the shot, rejecting the rejection. And that's a tied up game now for him.
Great rebound there by Ender. And also a great save by Gamer Boy. If you could just get it a bit further, it would have been a good clear.
It's one of those, if Dash was here, he'd be saying, he needs to clear it faster. He got the save, but then he just didn't tap it out of there. I can hear it in my head. Because indeed, Dash is, he's a great goalie, but he'll get those saves and just immediately slap it down the floor somewhere. He's always very quick to get rid of it, especially in 4v4, where you can't afford to hold on to it for even that extra half second because of all the extra players down there.
Yeah, it's the other challenge of being goalie. Save it, but then you got to clear it.
A lot of pressure on the shoulders if you're trying to shoulder the load at goal, for sure. I don't envy people who are career goalies. I've tried it with success here and there, but not for a very long or sustained amount of time. So now it's going to be recollected there, but there's a stack on the approach. Still manages to get a light clear that will find the hands of one of these teams. There's a lot of contesting going on in that midfield at the moment, so it's anyone's game, anyone's disc. 2-2 with 6:44 left. And now another stack quickly there by Orbit.
Great
I
chain
think he's gonna check, and there's already defenders in the goal from Illuminaughty, so they knew to get back quickly. They did not want to concede any threes whatsoever. And now maybe on this approach, slowly rolling it in, and another save. So Ender may not be piling in the points today, but he's certainly piling in the saves. He has 3 that are accounted for right now in the stat sheet. And yet another one there. Now that one was a little bit easier to get. It was coming in from pretty deep, but the pressure defensively forcing that. So Ender yet another save. Maybe he's going to pile on double-digit saves in this game instead of the points. Just showing his multi-dimensional ability on the floor.
Orbit's just got to try and hit the corners in the goal and try to score and converge it.
And Scoop is going to back pass it out there. So again, the patience. Just playing its part. Neither team really able to score in bunches in this one. Just 1 2-pointer apiece for these two teams. And so with that said, another slap through, but the midline. So it's Sneaky Evil this time. He's going to find that intercept, and we're kind of seeing that from Orbit again, starting to play those lanes and going in there for the 2 again. So there we go. Now it actually will be the 2-point advantage for Orbit after all of that work and all those minutes of just back and forth play between these two teams.
Yeah, great defense there by Illuminaughty again, but they just couldn't get the clear out as Orbit had the man back every time.
And you were saying it earlier as well, Kungg, that just if they could play that kind of patient sort of offense, you felt like this would be in Orbit's favor in round 2, that they could come away with a game. And we're kind of seeing that come into play. Now, granted, a save, but it'll still actually go through. That disc turned blue. But still, it's the 4-4 score nonetheless. So Gamer Boy attempting.
Yeah, it did not look like he was ready for that. Ender wasn't even looking towards the goal, and he just threw it behind him, right at Gamer Boy's face.
Almost got it, but not quite. And now there's the orbital strike, orbital drop, what have you. It is one of those orbital puns, but actually the rollout not paying off because it was a turnover, and Illuminaughty is going to take that, try and find the assist or the pass, but unable to, so slapping into the mid for that clear. And now Zenith is going to get it out of there. Looks back for the stack, but nicely done by Ender to deny it. Secondary stack, though. And now the shot, not online. Taken right back now by Ender in the back line. Trying to find a lane. Got to be careful of those Orbit back lines playing those clear lanes because they've been doing such a good job of that for 2 weeks in a row now. But Ender's going to come through with it. Go back into the goal off the backboard. And that's a 2-point advantage now for Illuminaughty.
Yeah, great train there by Illuminaughty. They really got faster. That's one thing that Orbit's got to work on. Their chain, they couldn't get together fast enough.
And he's been doing a good job too, just on the brawls. He's denied a few of those important stacks I've noticed in the midfield off of some of these clears, and it buys him things like that. Those open shots, those open buckets. Shout out to Wit. He was wondering what buckets were. But yeah,
now
so
again, the Orbit had a few men back, where well, Illuminaughty had 4 people on their side, which turns into a goal for QL Young.
QL Young with those spry hands, working it in past a lot of defenders hanging in and around the goal, as well as some teammates. It was a bit of a clustered situation, but found the advantage off of that. So 8-4 advantage. Bit of a low-scoring game in comparison to earlier on, and almost the interception. But yeah, these lower-scoring games, these slower-paced matches, these are the kind of ones where every single goal, especially as we wind down these last 2.5 minutes, are just ever more important. So Speedy V, Speedy working it into that bubble, is just going to back it on out. They have the 4-point lead, want their best possible opportunity off the back area. Nice recognition on the pass, and the finish by Speedy.
Yeah, now Illuminaughty's up by 6 with 2 minutes left. And just over 2 minutes, sorry. And they have a pretty good lead now.
Orbit was doing some work earlier on, but so this was actually kind of the case in that first round. We saw Orbit actually got themselves 4 points or 6 points in those first few minutes of round 1, and then they just kind of got stopped the rest of the way and couldn't score anymore. And it seems like that's what played out here. Now, granted, it went on for a lot longer, those 4 points being scored, and it wasn't until these last couple minutes that Illuminaughty started to pull ahead now. But indeed, it was tied up not too long ago. And now, though, Illuminaughty the advantage. But now, there you go, Suburban Legend. Burbs. Burbs, burbs, burbs. Burbs is the word. Trying to remember
anchor
that.
Shot save.
He was saying, yeah, call me Burbs, Pally. It'll be easier. So that's how I ingrain it in my head.
Ooh, close call there. Orbit almost got the interception.
And Ender, oh, just doing the nasty stuff that he does with that disc in his hand. Going for the shield. Stunning out the defender. Going for the shot. That's Ender.
Ender now with 12 points throughout both rounds. He's doing some good work on offense, him and Speedy.
To answer T's question in chat, Burbs, like B-U-R-B-S. You know, not suburban, just burb. Bourbon. Not the drink. Anyway, Scoop. Gonna have that disc now for Orbit. They're finding themselves down with this last minute winding down of round 2. It's 12-4 in favor of Illuminaughty, and they're just gonna camp out in goal, make sure that they don't get any threes or any major points here in the last 30 seconds of round 2.
Yeah, it's just a few missed passes and a few missed shots that cause the reason for the score difference right now.
And with the score being what it is, 12-4, 10 seconds left, not too much room to work with here. Indeed, so a haphazard clear is going to result in the clock winding down. Ender taking one last shot. But there you go with the 2-0 series win so far. It's Illuminaughty coming ahead. There's still a third round to be played, of course, for that MMR. But the series win will go to Illuminaughty, so congratulations to them.
Yeah, Orbit's doing really good. They just can't seem to score on offense, and they just have small mistakes. But Illuminaughty is doing really good all around the field. They have good chain, they have good goalie, good defense, really good defense. And then they can really score on offense when they have the opportunity to.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been just getting back. It seems like as the game goes on, I'm not sure whether it's a case of Illuminaughty getting stronger as the rounds go on, or Orbit just conceding more and then making more mistakes, because again, they start out the first few minutes of each round, they were scoring, and then as the round goes on, it seems like it just plays more into the favor of Illuminaughty, and they start to go on these scoring runs, whereas Orbit just started struggling in the latter halves of those 2 rounds to find any scores.
Yeah, they definitely did. They got 4 points like right off the bat last round.
Yeah, and it
no more.
It was like
that.
it was like 6 points in the first round, also the first few minutes. So I gotta wonder how they'll come back now. in this third round.
They're definitely one of the teams that surprised me this season. They played last season for around half the season, and they weren't really up there with a bunch of people, but they really came this season, and they were surprising a bunch of people.
For sure, and I recognize on Orbit, a lot of these faces from Pizza League. A lot of these guys with lots of great highlights last season of Pizza League and going deep into the brackets. So certainly not unfamiliar faces individually. It's just more so, like you said, the team. Seeing these 4 individuals playing as a team, which they've
Yeah.
done generally very well these first 2 weeks. But right now, Illuminaughty just trying to deny them their 3rd win on the season, and in the process, obtain Illuminaughty's 3rd win of the season.
And bounce shot attempt there, but
Ooh,
Zen will
and
pick it up and dunk it in.
take it there. Chong Wang, what game is this? Ender's game. Because see, Ender is in the game, so it's actually true. In a sense. Ender does have the lead score over for Illuminaughty, 12 points, 3 assists. Not too far behind, though. Speedy with the 10 points and 2 assists. No 50 points for Ender yet. Over on the EU side, I was talking about it earlier, but shot coming through, and that will be good from Burbs. We got the 3.
Nice shot there. They got the stun on Gamer Boy with the goal wide open. Took it.
Took it, he did. And to finish off on what I was saying, yeah, Chong, no 50 points for Ender quite yet, just a 12. Earlier in the day, we saw Slin on the EU side of things, though. He managed to squeeze through something like 40-some points in the 3 rounds. That was impressive. And the shot saved by Gamer. Floating backwards. That was a tight one because he was almost right in that goal. But now taking it over as Speedy going back on the rebound. Small boost. That was beautiful from Speedy. He took a small boost off his teammate to recollect that disc, it looked like. And off the rebound. Just like
Orbit can't pick up the missed shot. Which leads to another rebound by Illuminaughty and another score.
And gotta love that short range stack. Just the awareness and the reflexes it takes to pull that off sometimes. Just when you're all clustered up near goal, it's really intense. And looking for that shot now, bit off. But yeah, the awareness to pull moves like that off are you can tell that Speedy's been doing it for a long time. And true to his name, he's always been one of the faster players in the game on whatever team he's been in. And now going through Suburban to Ender, right into the goal.
Good pass in there. Orbit can't seem to get their launch down right now.
Yeah, they've tried a couple times with that orbital drop. Let's see if they have some other rollouts in their pocket that they can pull out, perhaps. So that one, they look just for that standard tunnel pass rolling out and out there. Seems like no way it just happened. Yes, it did for Orbit. In fact, for the 5 points on the board and bringing themselves within 2. Cutting me off in the middle of the sentence. Orbital dropping it on my head with that shot. What was that?
Crazy clear there.
Oh, man. Okay, well, talk about non-standard rollouts. That's about, I guess, the most efficient one you can get. And, well, now it's going to be Burbs down low with a pass to Speedy, hanging out there for one more cross. It was a little bit strong in the pass, a little stronger on the shot, so rolling back out to the midfield. Now it's going to float on, bounce on into that zone, that 2-point area. Going to be a one-on-one attack. The dive, unable to get him, so Sneaky. Just biding his time.
Baiting the goalie out of the goal and taking it in.
Didn't need to do, too much. He got the disc, and I'm sure he had vision down the field, saw that he had time to work with, so just kind of held it for that extra split second to freeze the defender, make him figure out what he wants to do, and then once the defender committed, I just took it in for the score. That was good. So QL now is going to be on that approach in the back line. It's Gamer Boy goalkeeping, and they're tapping it to Speedy. Speedy's going to have a one-on-one and goes down low.
Yeah, Speedy's definitely a great shot. He knows where the goalie's going to put his hands. Really good at placing the disc.
Most definitely speedy. Just again, I've said it a few times, but just all around good player. He's quick, good team player, but he knows how to score as well. He's not a
Yes.
he's more than happy to pass, but when you give him the opportunity to score, he's going to take that and he's going to make them with efficiency.
Very experienced player, so he knows all the little ways to get better and be the better player.
Yeah, I like the team play all around too, just from Illuminaughty so far. I mean, you can see it as a double stun coming out, Gamer Boy and Speedy, and some more stuns yet, still going to be recollected. But you can see, again, on their team, I mean, QL, another one of those players where he can kind of do a little bit of it all. I would say his strengths are definitely, at the brawls and playing the midfield and finding passes and things like that. So he's just a great facilitator and an enabler for his team. Because everything he does on the floor, whether or not it shows up on the stat sheet, it's always buying his teammates something good. Buying them time, buying them easier shots for their passes. So QL is another one of those players. And then obviously Suburban going in now for Ender for the 2 points. So now 11-7, starting to pull away again, maybe witnessing what we saw in the earlier games where Orbit has a really good first half of the round, but then in the second half, Illuminaughty pulls away. Maybe at play again here.
But I think Orbit is going to come back here. I think they're going to get a good launch here, use their orbital drop.
Still plenty of time to make it happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Partial orbital drop. A little bit more angle on that one, and actually it's not going to buy them anything but a steal from Ender, who delivers it to Speedy, and he's going to back that out now. And Suburban getting stunned as well. Down the field, but taken there by QL. And so Suburban, I was getting back to him. He has 3 points, 3 assists, and 3 saves. So again, just the all-around team play on that stat sheet. And now going to go in for the 2 more. 13-7. Diving in from that upper corner was Ender.
Ender's not scared of going, taking anything on any goalie. No matter how many defenders in the way, he'll just try and get through them all.
Reminds me of one of your teammates, one or two of your teammates.
Yes. Ryan.
Kungg with the call-outs, and now trying to make the shot, but it will not be on the mark. See, I didn't have to do the call-out this time. I just led you there, and you did it for me. Great. But into the backfield, Illuminaughty side of the floor, and slapping it in. It's Zenith, 2-pointer.
Or beat Illuminaughty into the joust there. Not the joust, my bad. The chain there, and picks up that 2 points.
Staying right in it, so only a 4-point deficit. Very comebackable with 2 minutes and 15 left. And well, on the rollout now, see if patience come into play, but actually it's just going to be a straight up turnover. So Orbit now, if they can take advantage here, but no, being stunned, QL will get that long bounce clear, but with 3 defenders there from Orbit on the recovery. Finding Scoop now up top. Scoop is going to go through, and now just needing to find some grabs if they can, because now QL is going to find that one and back it out to Speedy, and time is definitely on Illuminati's side. Now, deep shot, actually. Going on through, slipping past any hopes of recovering that one. Wow.
Ender's showing that he can make the long shots and not just the 2-point shots, too.
Yeah, he showed that quite well last week, so no surprises from my part, but still, it was a nice shot for sure, and he actually has 21 points to go along with his 4 assists and 4 saves. So late in this game, Ender's coming through with that stat sheet filling the goal as Scoop off the assist from Sneaky on the other side.
Or we're still a chance there. They move quick. They could definitely get a few scores. That's all they need.
If they can get a 2-pointer here, I would go for that. Basically, if they have an open 3, take it, but if they can get a 2, that'd be fine. Save the riskier 3-point play they're going to need after that for maybe the last attack, if they can. But no, it's just going to be intercepted right back. So Burbs gets that and backs it on out. Missing the hands of Ender down the floor, though, so now it's just a quick scramble. And getting the handle, finding that pass, and now time winding down. It might be a little bit too late for the comeback. They're going to try this one, though. 3-point shot going in, and it will be actually. But with that said, I don't think there's enough time for Orbit to come back. If there
Yeah,
is, it's going to have to be mighty quick. Possible headbutt. And no, it's the clock is just
there's
too lined
no
up,
time.
unfortunately. Yeah, that is tough. Woo. Some good moves. And unlike the last 2 rounds, Orbit was able to stick right in there and keep up with Illuminaughty until the end. And that was almost a comeback. If only they had, 5 to 10 more seconds.
Yeah, that was a very entertaining game.
Hmm.
It was very close, even though the scores didn't show it in the first 2 rounds. It was really good games.
Absolutely. And strong finish still from Orbit, even though they couldn't quite finish that turnaround, that comeback late. Was still a great effort. High score over on Illuminaughty is going to be Ender with 21. 4 assists. There's actually 4 assists apiece as well for Speedy and Suburban Legend. QL with 4 points, 2 assists, 2 saves, 23 stuns.
Gamer Boy with 6 saves. That's
Oh yeah,
great
right.
goalie.
Yeah, he had some nice ones as well. That's absolutely true. 6 saves for Gamer Boy, and over on the points end of things, it's Sneaky Evil contributing 10, Zenith contributing 8. The game high stuns going to Zenith with 51.
Ender really showed up on offense there. Took every shot he had. If there was a goalie or no goalie, he would shoot it, and he would do really well and make the shot.
Continuing his hot streak of games here in VRML, and even though he wasn't quite able to match the extreme outputs that we saw last week, he's still, even in a somewhat slower paced game, he still manages to score 21. So impressive there.
For sure.
But in
Definitely
any
one of the
case,
best
then
scorers.
remaining undefeated thus far is Illuminaughty, taking all 3 rounds there and continuing their streak of impressive play. Orbit, meanwhile, taking their first loss after a strong first week showing, but they didn't look any weaker this time. It's just they went up against a tough team. But obviously, the talent is still very much there for Orbit, and they're going to be an impressive team and an interesting team to keep watching throughout the weeks.
Yeah, they're sort of a newer to competitive play team, but nonetheless, they're still really good, and I think they'll get a lot better throughout the season.
Absolutely. Agreed, and then agreed again. So, with that being said, folks, that is our 2 matches. That was our doubleheader tonight. Appreciate all the teams involved, all the players involved for participating and giving us a pair of really close matches with some great gameplay. There's a lot of highlight-worthy moments in those ones tonight from all involved. Oh, Nova and Spaghetti. There's Nova claiming their first victory today of the preseason. And then in this one, Illuminaughty continuing their hot streak with their 3rd win of the preseason. But thank you everyone for joining us, as always, in the chat as well, interacting, reacting, clipping. I saw a couple clips going through there, so that's always appreciated. And yeah, thank you for watching. I've been Palidore as always, and Wit on the cameras as almost always, and then Kungg not as always because, well, he's brand new, but Kungg for the first time on the casting crew, doing what he
Thank you for having
does.
me.
Yeah, thank you. And well, we hope to see more. Thank you also to Andy earlier stopping by for his second cast. His first 2 casts of VRML came today. So appreciate them, and Subtlety earlier as well for camera work. And yeah, I think that covers all the thank yous. So with that being
Thank
said,
you to
from us.
Palidore as well.
Oh, yes.
For casting every game.
Thank
Almost
me.
every game.
Almost every game. I think this is
Doing
the
amazing work.
30th one or something.
Oh my.
I'm happy to, but I'm glad we have you and Andy and then Dimwee as well on board now, so we're gonna be able to get some more even distribution after this weekend stuff. This weekend got a lot of busyness from people, but it's nice to have some more volunteers helping along the way, so it's great.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of matches this weekend, actually, from what I can see.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of matches between Friday and Sunday, all stacked up. So there's going to be plenty of casts for plenty of people to take if they should want to.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll do it for us, though, for this Thursday night. So thank you once again, and from us here at VR Master League, we'll see you again real soon.